My name is Matt. I've been a pastor in church ministry for over 30 years. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Pastor to Pastor, encouraging and developing those of you who have a call of ministry leadership. Whether you're working on staff at a church or a community outreach, or you're a volunteer and you have this call to lead and have an impact, I want to speak into your life. Subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, leave a comment below. I'm trying to build this up, and I'm so glad you're joining me just for these few minutes, where I want to talk to you. As I talked to a couple ministry leaders today at a ministry event, I said, how are you doing in ministry? And they said, man, I'm so busy. It's been such a long week. It was a long day. And I know what it's like to be a pastor or to lead in church ministry. That's why I'm sharing this channel. And I know there are days and there are weeks that are long, and long nights, early mornings and weekends, and that's part of it. But I don't just celebrate hard work. I celebrate results. Everything I do, and I know that you do, is to be effective and get results. And you're right, in ministry, you're not just going to get to walk around with coffee and let everybody else do the work and give a little sermon and leave. People aren't going to follow you if they don't see you working with them. As a matter of fact, this morning I went with my home campus and I served for a couple of hours, set up tents and tables and served hot dogs and loved on people. Yesterday, I invited 40 people in my community near my church here in South Florida to Christmas, handed out invitations. My wife and I walk our dogs and have been talking to people, and we just felt like, we're just going to be aggressive this year and not only build relationships, but invite to Christmas with an invite, went door to door. And so there are times when I'll go hard and I'll grind and I'll put the effort in, and that's part of ministry. But if you're constantly feeling like this has been a rough week, I've worked long hours, it's busy, you're not going to enjoy ministry and you're not going to last. And so I want to share just a simple little formula for effectiveness. And I want to talk it out to see how you can live this out practically. Here it is. Learn to be at the right places at the right times with the right people doing the right things. Now that sounds easy, but it's taken me 30 years to dissect and observe and evaluate and test. How do I place myself, let's go through that again, in the right places, in the right times, with the right people, doing the right things? There's a lot of things I could do as a pastor or ministry leader. I could go serve in missions. I could go visit someone in the hospital. I could pray. I could lead a Bible study. I could practice for the weekend. I could send reports. I could measure and evaluate metrics and dashboards. I could build volunteers. I could care for people. I could celebrate. There's 1,000 things that I could do and that you do. And it's not that we don't do those things. It's asking yourself every day, every week, am I doing the right things with the right people at the right times in the right places? I went backwards that time. Many times we end up doing the same things that we always do. And while that's great, ministry changes and ministry grows. Am I speaking the truth? People change. Seasons change. What works changes. Where we do ministry changes. Who oversees ministry around you changes. And so to manage change, you have to constantly be evaluating, I used to do these things with these people, but is that the best use of my time? And not only does ministry change, if you're growing and you're praying for growth and praying for people to come to Christ and praying for a thriving team and more impact and serve more people and more people baptized, if you're praying for growth and to build ministry, what you do has to change. Where you do it has to change. Who you do it with has to change. So every time you do a ministry, Every time you're in the office or at home planning ministry with yourself or with a team, ask yourself, am I doing ministry at the right place at the right time? Am I doing it with the right people? I love all people, but am I doing ministry with the right people and doing the right things with the people? Today, I decided to go and serve because I'm a pastor at a church and we all serve. And as a pastor, I need to lead the way, model. I need to set the tone. So I went and served, set up tents and did things. But I knew that there'd probably be some community leaders, and I couldn't guarantee, but I put myself in the right place in the community at a community function. And who did I run into? An old friend named Tony, who we've met together, we've served together, he's mentored me, I've helped him and his son and his wife, we've been to his home, they've been to our church, they were leading in the community, and I just happened to run into my old friend Tony. Got a picture with him, talked to him, introduced him to some people, and that was a win because he saw Matt was here with the team. Matt must care about this community. Matt cares about me. It was an invaluable connect because I was at the right place at the right time with the right people. I loved on a lot of people, but I focused on Tony. Part of how I evaluate those 4 areas, right place, right time, right people, right thing, is first you have to know, this is number 1, you have to know, what do you want to achieve? As the leader, what is the one goal that you want to achieve? Now, you might say, man, I have a ton of goals. We've got to do this, and we've got to prepare for this, and I have these meetings. I understand you have to manage a lot of things. But as a leader, whatever you're called to lead, a group at home, a team at the church, a team in the community, you're on staff in charge of the connections or the student ministry or worship, whatever your responsibility is, among it all, know and ask, what is the one thing among all that I'm doing? That's number 1. The second thing is, what are the habits and behaviors that can get me there? Pregnant pause right there. What are the habits and behaviors that can get me to that number 1, that one thing I'm trying to accomplish? The reason I make such a big deal of that is we say we want this, but we're not doing things to get there. What do they say? Wanting a different result, but doing the same thing is called insanity. That's why it's Christmas time and I am not losing weight. Let's just say it that way. I'm eating caramel popcorn. I'm sinning. Lord, forgive me for my sin. All my cookies, all my chocolates. It's Christmas time. So if you keep on eating bad, using the diet analogy, don't expect to lose weight. Expect to get diabetes. I'm having a sugar comatose. So I'll wait till January. But here's the thing in ministry leadership. Don't want more help, but not invest in help. The thing I coach most leaders in is multiply yourself once. There is someone else that is competent, committed, passionate, gifted, called, and he or she or they, that couple, they are ready to be put into the game, but they need you to take time to find them, bring them in, spend time with them. But if you're always doing ministry and keeping up, going to the next event and leading everything, deciding everything, problem solving everything, you're not doing it with and through them. So are you doing the habits and behaviors that are going to get you to the most important thing, number 1, that you want to get? Number 2 is do the habits and behaviors that get you there. And then number 3, to evaluate this formula of effectiveness, number 3 is, what is the thing that only you can do? That is a filtering question. I can do a lot of things. It's good that I go to the hospital. It's good that I love on volunteers. It's good that I go through the campus and clean up and organize and do inventory. And inventory has to happen. It's good that I manage the finances. I'm in charge of the finances. But what's the thing that only I can do, or the highest thing that I should do? That allows you to start working on, what can I give away? What can I empower? What can I delegate? What can I architect around me? so that I can meet with Tony today. Because he talked to a lot of people, but he saw me, we came, we hugged, we laughed, we connected, because there's relationship, there's influence there. Only I could talk to Tony. Did a lot of things, but I focused on Tony. What is your Tony? Who is that one person that God wants to give you to be a helper and a leader and a multiplier and a partner? Listen, be in the right places at the right times. Don't miss it. Don't be late. Be there with the right people. Love everybody. Invest strategically. Doing the right things. Don't be working right now. Be connecting. And if you'll do that, and if you'll evaluate yourself every time you do a ministry, what I'm doing is I'm able to be a family. I'm able to do a music project at home. I'm able to do multiple ministries and bigger initiatives at the church. Not because I'm working harder, I'm getting older. I don't have as much time. I'm focusing my energy and investment in moments and places where I go hard and I go precise and focus, and I'm getting greater results. Okay, so Merry Christmas. It's December. I just celebrated my birthday a couple days ago. Thanks for joining me for Pastor to Pastor. I want to encourage you, keep ministering, keep leading, and keep evaluating where you should be when, with who, doing what. God bless you.